Well, so I'll jump in. A lot of people are describing the Orville as a Star Trek spoof at parody. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Not really. It's not making fun of shows like that, or science fiction in general. It's its own thing. I mean, if anything, it's a loving kind of tribute to that kind of storytelling. We're not really making fun of it. You know, it's not that broad.
Just sort of a spoof. In a spoof, the jeopardy wouldn't be real, the dramatic elements wouldn't be real, and that's not true on Orville. We're invested in these characters and their success, even though there are lots of moments of humor between them.
So, just to follow up on that briefly, would you say the show is more of a comedy with elements of sci-fi, or the opposite, is a serious sci-fi show with light moments of comedy in it?
Hopefully a perfect balance between real stakes, emotional and physical stakes, and comedy. It's a balance we talk about every day, and trying to get it just right. Some episodes are, I think, episode this is a flat-out comedy for me, and some are a little more serious, and it won't be quite the same each week.
But even those straight-out comedies have at the base of them a serious science fiction element, so that we're always playing that. And the writing staff is one half comedy writers and one half comedy writers. And that was our intent was, let's mix them as best we can at every step.
Yeah.
Not like
Yeah.
You know, this is going to be so much better a conversation next year.
Yeah.
Interrogation. What's the show like?
Yeah.
You know?
Cool. Go ahead.
So, genre comedies have just exploded on television over the last couple of years. What do you guys attribute that to?
Can you give us an example?
Yeah, like
Stand Against Evil.
oh my God, it's the answer is multifaceted, but this is one answer. In Comic-Con, you know, is I'm not sure if it's a symptom or a cause, probably both. But I mean, it's pop culture to become culture.
I think also there's a way in which genre, because of pop culture, because of what Brannon said, pop culture has become culture, that the audience is very comfortable in new worlds. So you can have a little bit more fun in those worlds. You don't have to stop and explain every step of the world. You put people in uniform on a ship, people get it, you know, and now we can have a little bit more fun with those characters.
And the ability to world build now in film and television has been, you know, the barriers to entry are the lowest they've ever been. You can do incredible worlds and visuals for a price that's actually, you know, doable. So I think that gives you the opportunity, it allows you to, you know, take those alternate universes and put, you know, mashups.
You know, I've heard people also describe this kind of as the Galaxy Quest, kind of in that same vein of a loving show that is comedy, and it pulls from like Star Trek and things like that, and it has those spoof elements, but it's coming from a loving place. And in Galaxy Quest, why it was so successful is because it came from that loving place. Can you guys talk a little bit about your love for sci-fi and why you wanted to do this sort of show?
That's a question to Seth, because this is his brainchild, and this is, I think, a show he's been wanting to do his entire life, and maybe even did as a teenager, if you ask him about it.
Yes, there might be a clip somewhere.
But it's really him wanting to do this. He's a genre fan, he's a science fiction fan, he's a Star Trek fan. It's a dream come true for him.
There's nothing better than geeking out with these guys, too. I think you're understating it, too, Brandon. You know, you have it's fun.
We all share this love with Seth, so it really is a pleasure, and it's not blowing smoke. It is a pleasure to work with him to help see this vision all the way through, because he has such a clear idea of what he wants, and yet he also is a complete collaborator. Now this guy,
this David Goodman, listen, I'm going to go ahead and interrupt real quick, because these are the best producers in all of Hollywood, and I love working with these guys. Sorry to bombard this interview, but I love this guy, Jason, David, Brannon Braga. Oh my God, I'm happy!
Did you have to rein Seth in at all? Like say that's too crazy, or did you really just let him kind of run?
Seth is the first person to say that's too crazy. Seth has a really clear idea of what he wants, and it's our job, but also again our pleasure to be a part of this collaborative.
You guys have a fairly diverse cast, both in terms of race and gender. Is that a conscious decision, or is that just a happy accident?
Bit of a happy accident.
Well, I think a show like this, it takes place hundreds of years in the future. You want the ethos to be all encompassing and all kind of all inclusive. So there is an effort to I think, cast in that direction.
Well, I think also, best players for the, we are really blessed. We have incredible actors, and each one of them, really fit the paradigm of what was written. And that was the part. Finding somebody was difficult for a lot of these leads. It took a lot of work. So I applaud these guys and Seth for staying true to what they really wanted the character to be, and finding cast that really express that well.